Tangible is an art and design studio. We work with architects, we work with interior designers, we do public art. I started this company really wanting to take interactive experiences outside of the computer into the real world. I like to create projects where you feel like you're immersed, you're surrounded, you're really in the space, and then it kind of wakes up a part of you that is kind of asleep.
Etro Construction is a general contractor and construction manager. We're looking at all of the different types of emergent technology for construction. Virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and looking at different types of construction sequence that might be able to really enhance a project. We're a young company, but we're making big waves because we do things differently.
I'm Adam Corneal. I'm founder and CEO of Unbuilders Deconstruction. We dismantle and salvage buildings by hand and take them down to foundation. It's been our mission to not only make deconstruction the industry standard, but to really minimize the amount that goes to landfill on all of our projects. We're collaborating on this project for IDS West, utilizing reclaimed wood to make a double helix structure.
It's a kinetic piece, and it's a piece that changes with interaction. The collaborations that I like the most are the ones that everybody that comes to the collaboration brings something completely different.
A designer and a builder and a deconstruction contractor see things in a different way, which can really strengthen a project.
This is a fun project for Etro to be a part of. A really high impact in terms of what we make when it's finished.
It was kind of like a bit of a dream team. We came in with the concept and the design, and builders is bringing the wood, and Etro's coming in and finishing all the wood, assembling it. This project really brings the best of everybody.
This is just one of the ways in which we can showcase really good collaboration and what can come from a good group of people. IDS West is one of the largest conferences in Western Canada. It's filled with many consumers. It's a great space for them to come and learn about all of the different sustainable materials and high design things that are out there.
When we learned about the IDS team, Design DNA, immediately came to mind this helix type of form. We are allowing people to touch it and spin it. As you turn it, it changes color. And we're taking this wood out of houses, a ton of history, and reinventing it.
The concept design from Tangible was a really great submission, playing with a very recognizable DNA form, but also this idea of reclaimed wood.
Much like DNA, where we all have our unique patterns, each piece of reclaimed wood has its own unique patterns. The wood itself is really alive.
There was this full digital collaboration where we did as much virtual walkthrough as we could before any of the assembly began.
We used parametric software to come up with kind of like the best way of wrenching the wood to make it behave and look in a certain way. And then from there, grabbing some materials and creating a very crude and simple prototype. If this piece is going to spin, what is it going to feel when it's spinning?
We've got to pry it, we've got to denail it. It really becomes a reverse engineering project. Every house is built quite differently.
Cutting the wood to a nominal length, sanding, and then planing two sides of them.
Finishing the front side and leaving the back side raw. If you imagine this helix where you see two sides, you'll be able to see the finish and the raw side at the same time. You see the history of the wood, and on the new side you see this present of the wood.
We're really showing the beauty of what reclaimed wood can be. It's actually something we're celebrating.
Nail holes, knots, paint, it's got a history to it, it's got a story to it. It really has a life of its own, and every piece has a life of its own.
We see everything as very disposable, and we're just consuming this and consuming that and just going to bed and doing it all again.
The old homes that we're deconstructing primarily came from old growth trees, and to see that wood then just get demolished and thrown in the landfill is really tragic.
We are, as an industry, the highest contributor to landfills. It's a paramount ethical obligation of every person in the construction industry to be thinking about waste.
How can we use actually what we have around instead of having to make new things all the time? If we start thinking that way, I think we're just doing a service to everybody, to ourselves and to the world and to the planet.
We're looking at things like high waste materials, salvaging more wood on demolition projects.
We need to see this paradigm shift. We need to have a new mentality behind it. It requires some labor of love, but then it also comes with a lot of reward.
I love this idea of transformation, of taking something old and making it new again. Something that has a lot of history now has a lot of present. People have to stop and it's like, what is that? What's going on here? And people kind of like shake their heads kind of like this way. That's the moment you're awake. It's like you have to awaken just to see and to understand the world. What is this thing and what does it do? How does it work? And then suddenly you have a conversation in a place where before people were just walking past. When we can create pieces that bring people back into the moment and feel kind of like connected to other people and to themselves, I think that's a very successful moment. I want to generate more and more of those.